a great quote. He once said that a critic is a person who watches a battle from a high off place and then comes down to shoot the survivors. And I guess what he meant by that was that critics tend to focus on the negative without actually talking about the work that gets put into albums, which is something I've always taken to heart, because as a critic, I do genuinely like finding positivity. I will always look for one thing, at least one thing, in every album that I listen to, no matter who it's by, that I like. And boy, do I have my work cut out for me today, because I've talked about this band before. Some of you are probably wondering why I would focus on this band for a show that talks about heavy metal. Well, my friend lent me this book, The Encyclopedia of Heavy Metal, with a foreword by Ronnie James Dio, and for some reason, this group has an entry. So, in keeping with talking about the worst album of 2013, and believe me, I've checked, and it is Send in the Clowns. This is the single most requested thing I've ever had to do. I think it's because you people think I'm funny when I hurt. But another reason for that is because one of the first videos I ever put on this site, entitled Hate Tank, which by the way was a series of rants that I was going to start but just never got off the ground, talked about the American Juggalo documentary. It was basically 5 minutes of me bitching about the Insane Clown Posse and talking about how some of the people featured on the documentary made me want to shove glass in my eyes.
I hate the Insane Clown Posse. On the face, just what?
Now, if you've never heard the Insane Clown Posse's music before...
What up? I'm the Duke of the Wicked, Violent J.
And I'm the neighborhood Southwest Strangler, Shaggy 2 Dope.
Good. But if you're looking for a synopsis of some sort, this is where I normally give a kind of brief history of the band, but you know what? I'm going to let Joe DeRosa do it for me this week.
They're the worst band ever! Ever! They're horrible! They're grown men that dress up as clowns, and then they rap about being clowns.
Now, in an effort to kind of better myself as a reviewer and keep this a little bit more balanced, stop laughing, I'm going to try and say at least 4 good things about this band during the course of this review. And I'm going to start off by saying that I am genuinely impressed with how successful they are, considering how removed they are from the regular music industry. I mean, this album hit number 4 on the charts. I'm not exactly sure which chart that is because that involves looking stuff up, but you know what? That is damn impressive on their own label, with a fan base as exclusive as theirs, with a type of music that's, well, this.
No longer steering, choosing, on autopilot cruising.
I have to commend them for getting so far. So maybe I shouldn't focus on the obvious jokes. So, to give you an idea of what I'm not going to talk about for the most part, here it is. First of all, I like rap.
I can feel it.
Heavy metal will always be my forte, but there's a lot of rap out there that I like. I love classics, NWA, Wu-Tang Clan. 36 Chambers is actually one of my favorite albums of all time. As for newer rap, not a ton, but I do love Army of the Pharaohs, Immortal Technique, stuff like that. Second thing you need to know about me is, I don't hate clowns. I think clowns do some good things for sick kids. I think they have the capacity to be entertaining in circuses and things like that. Plus, I didn't see it until I was in my 20s. So, you know what? No problem with clowns. The other thing you need to know about me is that I'm friggin' stupid. I watch bad movies for their entertainment value. Hell, I watched The Room without riff tracks. I have literally shouted Kaioken on the toilet.
Do you want a taco?
And this dumb nerdiness applies to music too. I love really stupid things, like that dinosaur thing that my friend sent me a little while ago. I love Gwar. I love Swashbuckle. I love Psycho Stick. I love... Alright, I gotta be perfectly honest, I don't know anybody who likes The Locust. I mean, just for the Insane Clown Posse, just... look at it!
I fed a fish to a pelican at Frisco Bay and tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away.
How can you make fun of something that is basically a walking punchline? As Jeff Ross once said, how do you roast charcoal? Let's give this a look and see exactly how quickly my rage can build. This is the Insane Clown Posse's newest, The Mighty Death Pop.
When the mighty death pop, everything stops. You either rise or drop.
hot chocolate? They did! That's Everyone's a Winner by Hot Chocolate. I'm not lying, I actually do like this sample. I mean, I've heard it before from a Girl Talk album, so it's not exactly original, but you know what? I do kind of like it. Yeah, maybe this won't be so bad. I mean, the producer seems okay. I don't know his body of work. I don't know what he's done in the past. Oh dear Jesus, no! It's the same guy, isn't it? It's the Werewolves in Alabama guy. But therein lies the tragedy. It's honestly not that bad of a track. Until they start talking.
Well, fuck it, no need to heed. The hell with caution, increase the speed. You push it, impress the rest. Right up and tell you ain't bone to dress. You crazy.
That makes no sense.
He loves the risky rock and roll. Who gives a fuck? Drop the control.
I like cursing. It's freeing. It's expressive. But if it's done in the wrong context, you sound like a 5-year-old who's just heard the words for the first time and try and squeeze it in every sentence you possibly can.
Say la vie, adios, good riddance, fuck you. ECP, meth, man, antidepressant pills. Everything spills into one pot. On top of that, I smoke rock.
Wait a minute, you forgot nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol. Thanks for getting that one, Queens of the Stone Age fans. This is actually a pretty catchy song, and I did find myself humming this a lot while I was recording this. But that doesn't mean that the song itself is very good.
Last time on the spot, choked a cop. Stopped and had a Faygo soda pop.
Here's the thing, the mighty Death Pop is supposed to stop you from taking risks with your life. There's a big difference between taking a risk and being a homicidal jackass. Alright, one more thing about the video. I love practical effects in movies and music videos, and this one doesn't use CGI, so it's very well done. And it's creative. Like the video for the next song. Yeah, creative doesn't always translate to enjoyable. Oh no, he has a Rubik's Cube! Stop him! Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm sitting in a chair. Hi-yo. Now let's talk about Chris Benoit. As a wrestling fan, I was a fan of Chris Benoit's when he was alive. I thought he was a great mat technician, etc., etc. And while we're on the subject, no, I do not like Juggalo Championship Wrestling. After he killed his family, there's no good things I could possibly say about him. So having a tribute track to him is pretty friggin' stupid.
That song is not made to glorify Chris Benoit in one iota of a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Quite frankly, he killed his family, all right?
Thank you for agreeing with me, insane clown posse. I think that counts. Yeah, I'm counting it. Personally, I'm not offended by people mentioning Chris Benoit. I mean, I'm a really big fan of people who've done songs about horrible, horrible people. You know, Helter Skelter, The Ripper, Who Let the Dogs Out. So the fact that they have a song about Chris Benoit is not what bothers me.
Haywire, crash, virus, pull your tongue out with pliers.
Chris Benoit didn't do that. I'm not defending him, but it's kind of like saying that Jack the Ripper went around breaking people's backs like Bane. Oh, and I never said this. This song is terrible. I mean, I really, really goddamn hate this song. From the minute I first heard it, I hated it. No, I'm making this official. I'm starting a list myself of my most hated songs. This is now number 2, right above Whip My Hair Back and Forth. To give you a point of perspective, I had to knock a Kesha song off the list to make it fit. So I'm starting to see a trend here. This is unpleasant music about unpleasant people. Will it continue?
This is the story of a man on the edge who all but lost his way until one day he discovered in his palms a rocket launcher.
It does.
Drop the shell in and fired it out across the street to the neighbor's kitchen. And now half of their house is missing. Fuck yeah!
And one of the things I really don't like about this is that they talk about all these horrible people, but they don't give explanations as to why they do it. I mean, like, Night of the Chainsaw, you could have probably chalked up to the drugs he listed at the beginning. Plus, in the video at the end, he does kind of seem remorseful, at least kind of shocked at what he did. Ah! Bazooka Joey? No, he just found a bazooka and he's going at it.
I blow new cop cars in the stockyards. Bitch, this is a bazooka, you not hard. See the SWAT team hiding in a limousine. It seems they smell the rings.
Again with the cops. Why are you going after the cops? Is it because they put you on that list? Look, I agree, I don't think you should have been listed as a gang, but going after the cops is not how you solve things.
Whoa, get out of it! For Christ's sakes! He's got a goddamn bazooka!
Is Joey on the drugs like the guy in Night of the Chainsaw? Does he have a pre-existing condition? Was he mistreated all his life? Did he get all of his direction in life from the Daleks?
Exterminate! Exterminate!
You know, Violent J said that this new album would take all the anger and frustration that the band and their close followers were feeling from people, you know, making fun of the Juggalos and making fun of the Insane Clown Posse, and they would channel that hatred into a new album. I also read that the album was supposed to tell people things they didn't know about themselves. Like that you're a homicidal maniac who shoots people in concerts.
My label. Stay right there. God, my brother.
Aren't you glad you know that about yourself? That you're a sadistic douchebag with hatred towards people you've probably never met? First of all, I think it's amazing that the guy thinks he can just walk into the Staples Center and kill people. Repeatedly. In different methods that probably take a lot of time to prepare.
I come to kill Chris Brown and shock this industry crowd. Fuck him dead in his seat, blow his guts out his tux. He beat the hell out his woman, and they still on his nuts.
You know that guy you used to work with at your job, the one you hated the most? The guy who would constantly rant and rave about people he hated and how he wanted to kill them? Well, he would say he went to jail a couple times, but he would make up different stories for how he did it every time somebody asked. Did you ever take that guy seriously when he said things like that? Now imagine he wrote a rap album and dressed in clown paint.
But I killed them. What if I shot a star out the sky? A piggy has to have wings before it can fly.
And if you think I'm over-exaggerating with that, well, I'd like to introduce you to a song called The Blaster.
And Plow stuck him in the temple. Simple disaster. That was the debut of the Bully Blaster.
I'm beginning to see another pattern here, or a motif if you actually want to intellectualize this. See, a lot of these people have strong connections with their weapons, even naming them, like Lorraine. Probably more appropriately, Moppy. You're welcome.
After blood pumping, he snores like a bear. But tonight was nice. We all slept like babies with his windpipe sliced. I did it with a straight blade razor and my Bully Blaster behavior.
So you killed him with a razor blade. Is the razor blade the blaster, or are you the blaster?
Doom, this time he spit on the back of my head. My face turned red as the laughter spread. Eddie has a gun in his closet, way up in a black box.
I feel like I've heard this story before. Where have I heard this? Oh yeah! Every album that I stopped listening to after high school because I realized life is not a shallow husk filled with people who want to see me fail. Music that taught the most angsty, impressionable people on the planet, hey, life is really bad, so you should take it out on yourself and others. This album shouldn't have been called The Mighty Death Pop. It should have been called Teenage Angst Fantasies, the album. Now, before I go off on yet another tangent, I do want to address the deeper meaning behind this album. Stop laughing. As it turns out, like their past albums, there is a central driving force behind this, and it does make sense if you listen to it, and here's what the Mighty Death Pop actually is. It's an entity that targets individuals who take great risks with their lives and reaches out to us in a warning to avoid an early death. Which is great, especially if you're trying to talk to kids. Tell them not to take stupid risks with their lives. Tell them not to go down the wrong path. Tell them to stick to the straight and narrow. But here's the thing that kind of negates all of that. It really does make this message of positivity seem really, really meaningless. Why are there no consequences? I mean, Bazooka Joey's probably taken over the entire Western Hemisphere with no authorities being able to stop him whatsoever. The owner of Chainsaw Chuck's probably got a nice family out in Texas somewhere, and he's the subject of several disturbing found footage movies. I mean, The Blaster is absolutely the worst. It is literally about a guy who spends an entire lifetime of hatred and cold-blooded murder only to have offspring that carry on his legacy.
Did you have anything to do with this? He gave me no answer, just a hug and a kiss and said, don't worry, Dad, everything'll be fine. Just you pay it no mind, it's all over.
Where are his consequences? Who stopped him? They don't talk about the time he was in jail. He was in the army, for God's sakes. Doesn't the army have background checks? Psych evaluations? Look, all you need to do is look at him dead in the eyes and just know that if that's a child, that has no reason, no conscience, no understanding.
And even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
Blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. Reject him and get him help!
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
Now, if you want a good parallel and you want to stick to rap of a song that talks about what happens if you go down the wrong path, look at Slick Rick's children's story. Now, this is a story about a kid who makes a habit out of robbing people only to be gunned down by the police in his final moments. Or maybe you want to talk about Immortal Technique's Dance with the Devil, which talks about a guy who wants to join a gang so badly that he accidentally destroys his family and ends up killing himself out of guilt. That's how you show what happens when you're a bad person. Not anything on this album. The only thing that even comes close to a resolution to that is the song, Where's God?
Innocent folks, wrong place at the wrong time. Doing bids or drawing in a chalk line. Little kids crossing a bridge too young, some tortured before they come.
Which asks why good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. And these would all be legitimate questions if you didn't talk about how awesome it was shooting cops and blowing people up with a bazooka and hating the shit out of your girlfriend.
I fucking hate her to death.
I'd be happy with her in a coffin.
I fucking hate her to death.
Maybe it's because of people like you. The last song on the album is called Forever. I had to shut it off after listening to a lyric that said the world has a lack of positivity or some bullcrap like that. I just gave up. I can't do it anymore. This is god-awful. You know what I haven't talked about yet? As long as I'm talking about this, I'm wondering who enjoys this? The Juggalos. They enjoy this music. And I have a lot to say about the Juggalos. You know, I wasn't going to do this review. I figured I said all that I needed to with my American Juggalo review, but a lot of people watched that and they got from that review that I hate Juggalos. And I'm going to let this out here. I'm not pandering or anything like that. I don't. Alright? I don't hate Juggalos. Nobody should hate Juggalos. You can think that their stuff is stupid, and trust me, heavy metal has its own little brand of stupidness woven carefully within it. So making fun of them because they dress in clown paint at concerts and really like the Insane Clown Posse, it's missing the point. Alright, the reason why anybody is a fan of any music is because they found a personal connection with that music. And if there's one thing that I'll never do, and I do honestly mean this, I can never make fun of somebody or wish bad things upon them because of the type of music that they listen to. When I was in high school, they passed around a flyer for something called Emo Beatdown Day. It was an awful, horrible thing that basically said if you have an emo haircut, you're getting punched on June 6th. There's no shadow of a doubt in my mind. Emo Beatdown Day is the most disgusting thing that I think heavy metal culture's ever produced. And trust me, I know it came from heavy metal fans, because heavy metal fans always have to have an enemy. And that's pretty stupid. I got two types of messages when I did my American Juggalo review. From Juggalos. I got one that was, you just don't get us. You'll never know clown love. Which is true. And the other thing that I got was also true, and it was people saying, I'm a Juggalo and I don't agree with those people. Not all Juggalos are like that. Some of us are great people. And if there's one thing that I did learn from this, and it's from the documentary, which I never did mention, is that a lot of people became Juggalos because they came from broken families, they had some issues in their life, and the Juggalo family took them in. Which is why I've never said that you can't listen to anything. I've given recommendations on what people should listen to, in my opinion, But I've never told anybody you can't listen to that, or I hate you for listening to this, or if I find you with an ICP shirt, I'm gonna hit you. Because these people found solace in music, which is something that I find very personal. If it's music I hate, if it's music I can't stand, but it made another person happy, who the hell would I possibly be to tell them that they can't listen to it because it sounds bad to me? I wasn't going to do this video. I wanted to actually just make a secondary video talking about my relationship with juggalos, which is pretty minimal. I've only met like maybe 5 of them in my life. But here's the thing. I may think this about music, that if you listen to something that's different than me, it's cool. Because music, aside from sex and food, is the thing that's connected the most cultures. The Insane Clown Posse does not feel the same way. I watched the infomercial for the Gathering of the Juggalos this year, which talked mostly about the acts that were going to be there, but like every year they have a theme, and this one was zombie themed, and in this one, the zombies are everyone who does not listen to the Insane Clown Posse.
We know what you're going through out there. You're surrounded by fucking do-bots. Sheep who all breathe, live, and love whatever's popular.
This is Legs Diamond. I think he's in Juggalo Championship Wrestling. I don't exactly know. But here he is with a rifle.
Well, now there's a place you can escape to. And if any of those bastards follow you in, we'll take care of them at the front gates for you.
You know, there's a clip I've been waiting to use for a very long time, and it's by a reviewer who obviously is much smarter and more influential than I'll ever be, so... Linkara, what am I feeling right now?
You insulting, patronizing dickhead! How dare you!
Thank you. You may be thinking I'm taking this too seriously. It's the Insane Clown Posse. I should take it with a grain of salt. There's not enough salt on the planet. I mean, if you're going to make fun of entertainers, that's one thing. They're in the limelight. They see it coming. Anybody who says on their official release, this wasn't done by a bunch of stupid fans, this was done by the group themselves and their record label, that if you listen to anything besides the Insane Clown Posse and you come near a large group of juggalos, you should be shot, is unbearable. Seriously, I want to know, why do people idolize this band? Is it because they tell you to be true to yourself? Because they tell you not to take shit from anyone? Because they curse a lot? Even if that's the reason, why don't you do what I do and worship Henry Rollins?
You suck! Whatever!
If you think I'm doing a good, the bad, and the ugly for this one, you're wrong. This is nothing but ugly. I would rather shower with a bear than listen to this band again. I understand that if you're an Insane Clown Posse fan, nothing I say is going to change your mind, and I don't want it to. Fine, I don't care. I know most of you wanted me to do this video so I'd make some stupid, obvious clown jokes and some shit about magnets, but you know what? I found so much more to hate with this. This is a travesty. You can't have an album about how to be a better person when you don't tell them how to be a better person. If you want the abridged version, here it is. I hate the Insane Clown Posse. I hate their stupid, false messages of positivity. And I want everyone to be perfectly clear on this. A lot of this can be played up for entertainment value, but I want you to know that this is coming straight from the heart. If you've ever wished or instigated harm upon another human being because of the music they love and enjoy, fuck you! This band is trash, and it belongs in the trash. And I encourage everyone out there who actually got this out of morbid curiosity to do the same. And that's the last time I'm ever mentioning the Insane Clown Posse on this show ever again. I need that music to edit later, don't I? God damn it. In all sincerity, I do want to thank everyone for watching this show, subscribing to the channel, anybody who's been a fan of the Facebook page. I want to thank you for your feedback and for your suggestions. They've really helped move the show to where it is right now, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you all once again. I'm looking forward to putting out some more videos for you in 2013, but until the next one actually does come out, once again, thanks, and remember, as always, Life is too short to listen to bad music. Right on schedule. You got a minute? You need some ice or something?
I hate you so much.
Alright, look, I know hitting you in the head with a Dalek seems a little extreme, but let's face it, you've been stealing my crap for weeks. You kind of deserved it.
That is fair, good sir. That is fair.
You know, looking on you close up, you kind of look like my friend Matt.
I get that a lot.
Alright, look, I just want some answers, so no pressure. Minus, you know, the gun. Why are you coming after me?
I'm burdened with glorious purpose.
Ugh, again with the cryptic crap. Look, I don't have time for this. How about I just ask yes or no questions? Will that work?
I'm so f***ing high right now.
I'll take that as a yes. You're not working alone, are you?
No.
That means you're working for something bigger. Something powerful.
Yes.
You know, it's funny, I've always thought there was something else. It's the reason why Ozzy Osbourne and Judas Priest were put on trial for murder. It's the reason why Headbangers Ball got canceled and there hasn't been a decent show about heavy metal on television since. It's the reason why last year, Limp Bizkit and ICP both had charting albums, and you probably don't even know who Kvelertak is, do you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
See what I mean? It's ridiculous. Hey, you're probably not going to give me any more information, and that's to be expected, but I'm in a generous mood. Let's face it, you're no more useful to me dead than you are alive, so I'll make you a deal. I'll let you go if you give me back everything you've taken from me. Make your choice. Live or die. God damn it, he's gone. Why do I always give him a chance to escape? I'll be damned. I guess I gotta buy a new Slim Jim anyway. It would have been kind of gross. It's gonna be a great year.
So